Do you love just going into your favorite restaurant, sitting down with your favorite waitress, placing an order, and having a great meal with a friend, family, or colleague? Well, those times might be over because restaurants, as we know it, are almost finished. Restaurants can't stay open. They are now changing the way that they do business. One person commented on a video that I did a couple months ago, and she says, and I quote, "We no longer offer dine-in as an option. Everything is now ordered to go." But why? Well, I have another comment from somebody just recently that kind of explains what is going on and why many restaurants are simply shutting down. It's a very interesting change that we are now going through, but this is something that many restaurants, many fast food places are going through as well. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So I absolutely love going into a restaurant and having a very hot meal. Something that is fresh, right there. Well, those times may be over. What we are now experiencing is that the American people can't afford to eat in restaurants. We can't afford these little luxuries. Even fast food restaurants are considered a luxury. And I remember back in the early 90s where I would go with my grandpa and we'd go to McDonald's every Sunday. Every Sunday morning we would go to McDonald's and we'd get the big breakfast platter. That was a luxury. That was something that I looked forward to. Now, people go to McDonald's almost every single day. Okay? I think the average person that goes to fast food restaurants goes to McDonald's, I believe, 2 to 3 times per week. Yeah, that's crazy. But it's now starting to stop because of this. Credit cards. Credit card debt is now at all-time highs, and credit card delinquency rates hit a nearly 12-year high. That's a problem. Okay? That is a massive problem. That means that credit card delinquency rates haven't been this high since the big housing bubble. Okay, the big financial crisis back in 2008. Yeah, that's where we're at. But listen to this. Because in one of my videos, I talked about, how businesses were struggling, restaurants weren't doing well. Well, somebody asked me, and they say, "Are you in the market for a restaurant? My family is looking to sell." Now, when somebody comes on to my YouTube channel and tries to sell me a restaurant in the comment section, it's probably not a good sign. Well, here's what happened. Went back and forth. Actually knew somebody that worked in this restaurant. It was more of a local restaurant. And I knew somebody that worked in this, so I simply asked them how things are going. Well, this is what they told me. They told me, and I quote, "Don't buy this one. We have a daily special that we offer for 50% off, and that is what most people buy. We obviously sell some of our full price dishes, but the majority is the special of the day, and it's likely because of the price. Tips are almost non-existent, and repeat customers is what is keeping our doors open." Okay. That is a restaurant I would never buy. First off, I wouldn't buy a restaurant because I don't like the restaurant business. Now, here's one comment that I received that I thought was very interesting. Listen to this one, and again, it's going to give you an idea why restaurants can't stay open anymore and why they're struggling so much. Listen to this. This person says, and I quote, "I left a 7-year position as a waitress because there is no longer any money in it. I used to love interacting with the people, but now they don't want to be bothered. Many of my regulars actually stopped coming into the restaurant and they would order to go. When I asked my brother why he didn't come into the restaurant anymore, he said it was because he can't afford the meals plus tip. He knows that other people know he is my brother, so he has to tip generously, probably 20% or more. So I moved on and I'm happy working as a receptionist at an elementary school." So here's what I think is interesting. This person was working as a waitress for 7 years. Okay, got out of it because there's no money in it. But when she realized that her regulars stopped coming in and they were only ordering to go, she asked her brother why he wasn't coming into the restaurant anymore either. And he said he can't afford the meal plus tip. That's the big thing. And this is something that we've been seeing for quite some time. It's been going on for a couple of years where there's this tipping culture that people are pushing against. Because we see, let's say you go into an ice cream shop, and okay, I'm gonna buy my ice cream and I'm gonna pay an additional 10, 15, 20% tip. Okay. Now, did the person make you the ice cream, or was it like a frozen yogurt place where you pull down the handle, put it in a bowl, you put all your toppings on it, and the person simply sticks it on the scale and weighs it, and is asking for 20%? Yeah. That's where people are pushing back. I know somebody, I was at a frozen yogurt place probably a couple months back. That was the last time I was there, maybe more than that. Anyway, the person in front of me was arguing with the cashier, who looks like a 17-year-old kid, maybe 18-year-old kid. Okay, this young girl, and arguing that you want me to pay you 20% of a tip for simply just doing your job, just ringing up my order. That was it. The girl didn't know what to say. Felt bad for her, but at the same time, I understand. Now, I thought this was interesting as well. I went to a mechanic shop just recently, and this person fixed my car, did the work, what they said they were going to do, and then on top of that, it was a $1,000 bill payment, whatever it was, and they automatically includes a 25% tip. So you actually have to go in and request, hey, I'm not trying to tip anything today, because it was 25%, 35%, and then there was just two buttons, no option below that says no tip. Okay, nothing. Is you had an option between 25 and 35. I let them know, hey, these are the prices. You're charging me $400 some an hour in labor. I don't see the need for a tip there. Okay, and so the person said, let me go back through it and took it off. If it was a small little tip, or let's say it's $950, would I pay the even $1,000? Most likely. But when it's a $1,000 bill and they're asking, pretty much demanding, you're going to pay $250 as a tip. That's where things are getting out of control. So again, this is why many people don't even go into restaurants anymore, because they can't afford it, because they know they have to tip. I go to a coffee place and I don't drink coffee, but if I go there to get my wife coffee, I'm going to buy the coffee, pay whatever it costs, and let's say it's a $4 coffee, right? I'm probably going to pay a $1 tip. If it's a $8 coffee, or I get a couple different drinks, I'll probably pay $2. If it's a $16 bill, I'll probably just round it up to 20, right? If it was a $40 bill, I'd probably just round it up to 50, right? I'm just going to round it up to the nearest whatever. If it's $3, $2, I'll probably just give them a 5 and I'll go away, right? If it's $6, $7, probably just give them a 10, you keep the change, right? That's just the way it works. But this is where restaurants are different, okay? Because in many restaurants, their prices have gone up so much, you got to pay more for the meal, but at the same time, now your 20% tip is so much more as well. And this is why many people are simply not going to restaurants. And now restaurant owners are concerned because now they're not getting those repeat customers staying in. If they want to get the meal, they will order it and they will go. But let me know, do you do this as well? If you go into a restaurant, how much are you tipping? Or do you just not go into the restaurant because you want to avoid the tip altogether? Let me know down in the comment section below, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.